Our keynote speaker today, Dr. Robi Ludwig, is a nationally known psychotherapist and award-winning reporter and television expert commentator. A graduate of Cal Southern's Doctor of Psychology program, she also holds a postmaster certificate in advanced clinical work from Hunter College, a master's degree in social work from the University of Pennsylvania, and a bachelor's degree in mass communications from Cedar Crest College. In clinical settings and in private practice, Dr. Ludwig has treated all forms of mental illness, substance abuse, grieving, job stress, emotional and sexual abuse problems, as well as common social and parenting issues. Dr. Ludwig began her work in television as a psychology reporter in upstate New York. Today, she is a regular on CNN, CNN Headline News, and the Fox News Channel, where she talks about psychological and lifestyle issues as well as the criminal mind. She also appears on national shows including Today, Nightline, ABC World News, The View, Fox and Friends, Entertainment Tonight, The Steve Harvey Show, Wendy Williams, Your World with Neil Cavuto, and many others, helping audiences and guests alike to understand the complexities of the human condition. She is a contributor to and on the medical advisory board of Bella Magazine. She has also contributed to popular shows on the Learning Channel, GSN, and the Investigative Discovery Network. Dr. Ludwig has authored books including Till Death Do Us Part, Love, Marriage, and the Mind of a Killer Spouse with Matt Birkbeck, and she recently published Your Best Age Now, in which she draws upon scientific research and her experiences as a psychotherapist to show that midlife is not the beginning of one's decline, but rather the time to pursue our dreams, a theme that will certainly resonate with many of those in attendance today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is truly an honor and a pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker and a dear friend to the university, Dr. Robi Ludwig.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to acknowledge first Cal Southern's founder, Dr. Donald Hecht, University President, my friend, Dr. Carroll Ryan, Chief Academic Officer, Dr. John Minchin, Dean Grimes, Dean Sampong, Dean McLeod, Dean Herbert, and Dean Van Heerden, the Board of Trustees, and members of our esteemed faculty. Welcome, proud parents, family, and friends, and most of all, to you, the graduating class of 2016. I am so honored to be here today. Thank you for inviting me to share in this important moment of your life with you. What makes this moment even more meaningful is that not too long ago, I was sitting where you are today. I graduated with my PsyD from Cal Southern School of Psychology in 2002. So when Micah Harper asked me to be your keynote speaker, I jumped at the chance to be here with all of you dedicated, special, and committed learners. I know firsthand the time and motivation it took every single one of you to get this degree. The challenge it takes to successfully juggle a job, finances, family, and a personal life with your goals, drive, and ambition. Well, today, you have managed to accomplish all of the above. This is one of the reasons why speaking in front of you is both exciting yet daunting. Although I have spent many years in front of the camera, analyzing the latest story of the day, public speaking is completely different. It's a totally different skill set. Part of me always feels a bit surprised when I'm asked to speak in front of an inspiring crowd because I was always more of a lifelong dreamer, happily moving along through life to the beat of my own drummer. I almost always took the road less traveled. Perhaps this personal anecdote will give you some more insight about me. During a tape segment I was doing for Nightline a few months ago with Juju Chang, the reporter I was working with told me she was juggling, she wasn't struggling, she was juggling work and motherhood. I was struggling probably, like many of us working moms do on this particular day. After our segment, she was going directly to her son's parent-teacher conference. I asked her if she was nervous at all about going to this conference, to which she replied quite naturally, "No, not at all." After she responded, I told her how my mother used to take extra painkillers whenever she had to meet up with my teachers for these type of conferences during my early years. Now, I'm not exaggerating. Really, this is a true story, and I'll even give you her email if you want to check out the details with her later. Meeting with my teachers was such a painful experience for my mother, Helene, that she often had to load up with, I think it was Valium, just to handle the experience. Juju looked at me in disbelief. This is a true story, swear to God. There was fortunately no indication during our interview that would ever suggest I was challenging, rebellious, or a difficult student during my younger years. The cameraman did find my childhood story a little bit humorous though, but I don't want to digress. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this story with you today is rather deliberate. I believe in the power, importance, and value of having a little rebellious moxie in your spirit. There was a study done not too long ago in the Journal of Developmental Psychology, which found the behavior of the rebellious, rule-breaking teen was the greatest predictor for those kids growing up to be more successful and earning more than their peers. It's interesting how a characteristic typically considered negative has been found to have a positive impact. I'll expand on this idea in a minute. When I wrote my latest book, Your Best Age Is Now, my goal was equally as deliberate. I wanted to challenge the negative myths we've been taught to believe about midlife. The cultural myths that tell us either overtly or covertly that midlife is a time of loss and decline, a time to give up on yourself, a time to accept that you're losing it, that you're over the hill, that you're destined to be invisible now, or that there's an expiration date on your dreams. Fortunately, the current research revealed none of these myths to be true. In fact, it revealed quite the opposite. Midlife is a time when we're feeling younger longer. In fact, it's taking us all a little bit longer to grow up. During midlife, we feel wiser than ever before. We tend to see the glass as half full. We feel better about ourselves than we ever thought we would, as well as more confident. One of the central themes in my book is how important it is to tap into your youthful spirit, and for midlifers especially, to tap into the positive aspects of your teen energy. So what does this mean exactly? It means learning to say no to ideas that no longer serve us well, to continue to find ways to say yes to life with a you only live once attitude, only with good judgment because we're older and wiser now, to continually check in with yourself and to ask yourself who you are and who you want and need to be. We are always in a state of becoming and evolving. Because we live in a noisy world that technology and social media has only made noisier, there are lots of different messages being thrown our way. That's why it's even more important for us to cultivate the ability to develop an inner moxie, reject the status quo, develop the power to speak up for what we believe in, and to shake things up a bit every now and again. Then we need to take this moxie and mix it up with a bit of creative reinvention. You probably have reinvented yourselves many times in your life already. You're reinventing yourself right now from being a student to a new kind of degreed professional. Sometimes this reinvention happens so naturally, we don't even realize it's happening, even though it is. Studies show engaging in this type of creative reinvention living increases our resiliency to face daily stressors. My uncle, who's a local TV weatherman in New York City, told me recently, during a conversation we had about his future goals, he's 70, a very young-looking 70, that he plans to do the rest of his life creatively. This statement really resonated with me because some of the most powerful and impactful people that I know live their lives passionately, embracing their talents while they continue to reinvent themselves. They don't let anything get in their way. If one door closes, they find another door, or a window, or create a new key for a whole new door altogether. Reinvention is so important for us psychologically because reinvention is about growth, and growth equals happiness. We are always happiest when we're growing and on purpose in life. Fortunately, our reinvention can happen at any time and at any age. All it takes is a desire, an idea, and some action. It's really important to choose your future and not wait for your future to choose you. I call this being proactive. When I interviewed Suzanne Summers for my book, she told me, and I quote, "There is no secret to happiness in life. It's what you decide you want and then go after." She then said, "I believe one has to insist on life happening for them the way they want it." Creative reinventors like Suzanne make time to envision what's possible and then go for it. Our daydreams and fantasies can give us amazing access and a front row seat to our ongoing secret desires. They allow us to test out the different roles and try on different lifestyles for size. Our daydreams and fantasies are great for capturing the true spirit of who we want and are meant to be. Psychologist Rollo May brilliantly described creativity as the process of bringing something new into being. Through our creative pursuits, we allow ourselves to imagine without judgment, to transform the ordinary, to use our bodies and emotions and desires to continually find new ways of being in the world. Through the creative reinvention process, we learn we can give meaning and voice to our truth, our values, and our ideas. The third idea I'd like to highlight is about the importance of adding some play and fun into your life. I'm a big fan of both. When I was interviewing for colleges, I had an interview with my top choice school at the time. It was an all-women's small liberal arts college in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure what I was thinking at the time or why I thought this would impress anyone who was trying to get into their first choice school, but when the interviewer asked me if I could tell her something about myself, I quickly told her, well, I like to party. I'm not really sure what she thought of me after that. Fortunately, I did get in, and the admissions director did not hold this statement against me. Now, looking back at my 18-year-old answer with my 50-year-old eyes, I can see the value of what I said back then. Partying, in my mind, meant having fun, and fun is something I certainly had a lot of in college. Having fun is something we should never lose sight of. I came across this interesting TED Talk which spoke about the psychological and biological value of playing and having fun. Neurological studies show that play lights up our brain and helps us to develop our contextual memory. It also helps us to adapt to the world around us. We're designed to play, and when we're deprived of this kind of fun, we get depressed. Fun play comes out of our curiosity and our desire to explore. And we're designed to play throughout our entire lifetime. Did you know as humans, we are the most playful of all the creatures on the planet? There's even a name called for it, called neoteny. In my book, Your Best Age Is Now, I advise people not only to ask the question, what would my older self advise my younger self? But to ask themselves, what would their younger self ask of their older self? Perhaps this is something you can ask yourself right now. The author of The Red Rubber Ball, linguist, and trainer for the 76ers, you can tell I'm not a sports fan, sorry, Kevin Carroll, came from a very difficult background. He had an alcoholic mother, an absent father. He lived in an inner city and had to take care of his younger brother. He credits the discovery of a playground outside of his window as what led him to discover the importance of play. He credits the power of play as having a transformative force over his entire life. Including play and fun into your life is creating a life where you're in a flow where you can find pleasure and joy in the present moment. Before concluding, I'd like to again highlight the 3 powerful themes I'd love you to leave here today with. The importance of including a little moxie, creative reinvention, and some play and fun into your life. Make the commitment to include and prioritize these ideas into your everyday life. Now is the time to go follow your internal compass and use your unique and special talents to make your world and the people in your world a smarter, better, and more fun place to be. After all, isn't that what life is all about? So good luck. Get out there and do your thing. Continue to be the exception to the rule. I'm rooting for each and every one of you. Thank you.